The topic this evening, as the title announces, is that we step into largeness, which sounds both inviting and intimidating at the same time. It implies that we are living in some smaller frame of reference than might be possible. And we might ask ourselves, first of all, the question, why is it that we live in a smaller frame of reference? And why anything small? And there's a very clear answer to that. It's because we are small and we are, relatively speaking, powerless in this world. And that's an existential fact. It's not something that is debatable. It's something that's lived out every day. We're compared to the powers of the universe or even the powers that course through us. We are tiny, fragile, vulnerable, and conscious of it, and relatively powerless in this universe. So that's a starting point. Now, how does one build anything from that place? And the answer is basically piece by piece, hesitantly, with many defeats, many throwbacks, many catastrophes. And if a person hasn't had catastrophes, then that person is just a newborn. It's just about to happen. And maybe that's where it begins, as a matter of fact. The problem, of course, is that smallness necessarily, as we've already talked, obliges adaptation. And the adaptations are necessary, critical for survival. And the problem is they get locked in. And therefore, we, on the one hand, are forced to have adaptive patterns that help us survive. But on the other hand, those patterns get in the way. So there's a paradox, there's a complication. And right there's a kind of splitting experience within our own lives. Again, not an original thought. Blaise Pascal, in his Pensées in the 17th century, says the universe, and this is a quote, he says, "The universe need not arm itself to destroy us. A mere drop of vapor will do." Now, think about viruses, for example. Think about toxic elements. A mere drop of vapor will do. On the other hand, he goes on to say, and yet we have a mind capable of conjuring with the universe that so casually could destroy us. And this is called Pascal's paradox. You know, the largeness and smallness of the human condition. Both are true. And every paradox is an expression of competing truths. And so, in Pascal's observation, we are so fragile that the minuscule is larger than we. And on the other hand, we have an imagination which is capable of conjuring with the universe. As we speak, a rocket is carrying new telemetry throughout our universe to try to discern if and where other conditions necessary for the creation of life as we know it will be found on other stars and other planets. And that's a powerfully imaginative venture, isn't it? And it's one that's both appealing to the ego and it's one that is also intimidating to the ego.